Alright, so this right here is my Altos de Chavon sketchbook. This was a sketchbook that I filled during the summer of 2018, where I went to Altos de Chavon for an animation course that lasted 2 weeks in the Dominican Republic. There I learned the basics of animation. I met amazing people, and I definitely learned a lot. As you can see, the sketchbook is falling out at the pages because throughout the 2 weeks I was constantly carrying this book around with me everywhere. So predominantly in the sketchbook are a lot of notes for the animation courses and the software that we were learning. There are also a few traditional animation assignments. So if we had lip syncing assignments, we would test out or create characters on here. This was a cat animation assignment, animal animation assignment, and I decided to do a cat. Yeah, but besides that, there are just a lot of random gestures that I do because I've always wanted to figure out how to manipulate the human form at my own will without using a reference. It is like an ultimate goal of mine to be similar to Claire Wendling. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name right, but she has these amazing characters, based like realistic human characters that she moves around and have this beautiful fluidity in them, and that's essentially where I want to achieve my art style to be. That's like the goal. But yeah, there were a lot of assignments here. I mainly either drew people from direct observation. This was my roommate. Or I drew, creative gestures or homework assignments. This was a homework assignment that my professor had us do to draw our weekend. And this is when I realized I can't keep drawing in pencil because I draw too light. Because at this point in time, I was too shy, I guess. I wasn't very strong with my line work. And that was something that you could have seen in the previous sketchbooks, the portable sketchbooks that I was working on previous to this. So after this weekend, he told me no more pen. See, professor says from here on out, no more pencil. Yeah, and then I just went straight to pen. So yeah, this is where I discovered Sharpie sketching. And at first I really hated it because, it bleeds everywhere, but I don't know. I moved on to a random ballpoint pen afterwards. This was El Río de Chavon. Notes for class. Draw your ass off. Ew, homework assignments. It's really weird looking back at old things and being like, oh, I used to draw like that. This was in the lip syncing assignment that we had. I got the phrase, what are you talking about? You talking about pigs? So I just some character design there to making my little country person man thing. Yeah. And my professor taught me about mouth movements and stuff. And so for the pigs, I drew a ton of pigs in the sketchbook. Oh my gosh, I drew so many. They were just so fun to do. Draw this in my style challenge that was prevalent during the summer that I never finished. More piggies. I think this is more draw this in your style. Yeah, I think this is when I got back. I work on multiple sketchbooks at the same time, so there's a lot of stuff that jumps in between here. This was on our way back. This was in the hotel before we went to the airport with my brother playing Fortnite, of course. This is when I was designing my Instagram logo, icon, person thing, experimenting. My mom, a really bad pencil drawing of my mom. Figures, doodles, more figures, doodles. Yeah. I wanted to get the sketchbook out of the way because I finally finished my CalArt sketchbooks. I was originally going to send in two. This was at the airport really quick. Bloop, bloop. Yep. I was originally gonna send two CalArt sketchbooks, but I realized that one of my sketchbooks was a lot stronger than the other one, took a lot less time, and was more recent. So I'm just sending that one in instead. I'm still going to post the one that I'm not sending, so it's probably going to have the title, The Generic Colored Sketchbook That I Never Sent, or something like that. But yeah, I couldn't send it. It was awful. So yeah, the rest is like just doodles. This is a doggo. Yeah, I don't know. I mainly wanted to show the sketchbook because I don't have time to film all of the previous sketchbooks I was working on prior to my CalArts sketchbooks, but this one is the most important out of those because it's where I actually learned the basics of animation. This was story idea stuff. Oh, these were the sketches I was looking for. Okay, gonna thumbnail those pages. This was, I think, this was like in November or something. I came back to this sketchbook because I'm part of the CalArts applicants Discord group, and someone posted their character design, and it had a really interesting silhouette, but they weren't posing it properly. I think they only did it from the waist up, so I'm like, how do you want to pose it? Because that says stuff about your character and blah, 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 blah. So I doodled that character a bit. Yeah, and the rest of it is blank. So yeah, that's all, guys. Up next is, well, the CalArts sketchbook I'm not sending and my actual CalArts sketchbook. So see you then.